Greetings, everybody. This is going to be this could be for you message. So, this could be for you. Not everything is going to be for everyone. Um, you got to use your discernment to know what is for you and what may not be for you. Okay. So, I hope that this message reaches you at the divine right time that it's meant to speak to you. Um, yeah, so let's go ahead and get into the message. So, Spirit gave me, what's up, Mimi? Spirit gave me the message for this reading. I haven't pulled any cards or anything, but I got the message to stand up. So, I'm going to pray over this reading and ask that the Most High God come through and protect this reading and seal it from any outside forces and any type of energies or entities of the airways that try to distract or try to mess with this live and the message just coming through on your end and my end. And those who have the heart to hear and the eyes to see the messages in the way in which the Spirit wishes to reach you. May this reading bring you the clarity and the peace that you seek from the divine. And I give all glory and praises to the Most High God for this message. My angels, I thank you. The divine Holy Spirit, I thank you. And I seal this prayer in the name of Jesus, and I thank you. Let's go ahead and get into this reading, or this message, rather. So the message that I'm getting already, I don't need to pull the cards just yet, if I have to at all. But the message I'm getting is that for a lot of you, you've been down for a minute. Greeting Besso, I don't know how to pronounce it. Exo Chai, I don't know how to pronounce it. Rochelle, greetings. That some of you guys have been feeling down. Not having much energy to do anything, or you may be feeling spiritually down or just tired. You could be dealing with depression. You could be dealing with anxiety about your future. You could be dealing with a broken heart. The message I get from you, if you're somewhere where you're laying down, like you find yourself doing nothing almost all day, like you've lost any energy for life, or you lost most of your energy for life, and to do anything, you really don't feel like it. You don't have any passion for anything anymore. Spirit is telling you to stand up wherever you are. I don't know if you're laying down, if you're sitting down, if you can. Obviously, hopefully you're not driving, but if you can, it might be a little hard to do that, obviously. But Spirit is telling you to stand on your feet. Stand on your feet. It might feel heavy. You might feel like you can't. It's something that may be blocking you from moving forward. I'm going to share with you guys an experience I had. It was like Friday night, probably, like might as well be Saturday, the wee hours of Friday night, early morning. And like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., that time. And I'm listening to a message. Like Spirit's been blessing me with like words and messages that I need to hear when I need to hear it. And I'm so grateful for that. And I was listening to a message, and he was talking about the spirit of, it's called lame, but it's really a spirit of like not paralyzed, but crippledness in the legs. So spiritually, I was feeling crippled. I was feeling stuck. I was feeling stagnant. I wasn't able to like feel motivated to do much. I started to lose that passion. And the word spoke to me, and I felt my legs have chills all in my legs, like from my knees to my feet. I had like nothing but I felt nothing but chills like in my legs. Like it almost felt like your legs are going to sleep, but not really. It's like when you get those psychic chills, as they call them. And I felt the energy, and Spirit was like, stand up. And I stood up, and I closed my eyes, and I put my hands up, and I went into tongues. If you guys don't know what tongues are, it's a spiritual language, a universal spiritual language. And I went into tongues and put my hands up and I closed my eyes. And God has been working with me on my trust in Him and my faith in God. So I was closing my eyes and Spirit was like, walk forward. With my eyes closed. I couldn't see nothing in my room. I could have bumped into a wall. I could have hit my foot on a shelf, anything. Spirit was like, walk. And I'm walking. Spiritually walking and moving forward. So when we do things in the natural, it means something completely different in the spirit realm. So who knows what I was doing in the spirit realm, but I was submitting to God and I was showing God, I was humbling myself before God and showing God that I trust you. Even though I can't physically see you, although I can't physically see where you're taking me, I trust you. And I sat down and I started bawling. I was crying and I felt the energy in my legs. And I started hearing messages. Spirit started giving me clarity on some things. Like out of nowhere, the Spirit just started speaking to me. So I'm asking you guys, because this is what Spirit is giving to me even before I got on this live, was to tell someone who resonates with this message to stand up where you are and submit yourself to whatever it is that you're going through. Whatever you've given your power away to, whether it's fear, whether it's circumstance, whether it's your bills, whether it's a job, whether it's a man, whether it's a woman, whether it's what people think about you, oh, I should be here, or I don't have this, I don't have that. Release that. Put your hands up and surrender. I let go. I let it go. And I say God because I trust in my Creator more than I trust in man and anything else. Over tarot cards, over readings, over what people teach us, what they tell us, what the church says. I put my faith in the Most High God, the Creator of all of these things. And I put my hands up. So I ask you, whatever it is that you humble yourself before, that you release and submit yourself, and that you spiritually walk forward. You don't have to do what I did, but in a place where you say to yourself, God, Spirit, I release to you whatever it is that's blocking me from moving forward, whatever it is that's preventing me from moving into the next phase of my life that you have for me. If it's me stopping me, if it's a belief that's stopping me, I ask you to remove it. And the most powerful thing that we can do is to call out the things that are a block to us. So if it's fear, if it's heartbreak, if it's poverty, if it's my mom said this to me as a child, or I have a fear of being lonely, whatever it is, call out those things so that you can be free of them. When we denounce something, when we have to identify, and this is something I've been learning, and this is the message I've been getting from Spirit, from people that Spirit's put in my life, my sister, is you have to admit to yourself what it is that could be like blocking you. What is it that's troubling you? Whatever it is that's been a weight on you. By admitting those things, by honoring what you feel, what's going on within you, what you're thinking, by admitting it, you give it a place. You see it, you know what it is, you identify with it. Now you can go ahead and you can release it because you know what it is. It's not something that's no longer hitting. When you confess something with your mouth, you identify that something is there, right? So, Spirit, I'm confused. I don't know what to do. I feel stuck. I feel depressed. I feel anxious. I feel like a failure. Whatever it is, state those things and ask Spirit to remove them off of you. Remove it from me. Free me of these things, whatever it is blocking me. And move forward. And my legs are tingling. So I pray that this is helping somebody because I feel it in my legs again. The Spirit's doing it again. Move forward in your life. The things that I've been posting may be triggering to some. Some people might take it as, oh, she's being negative. Oh, she's being too preachy and all of that. I'm honoring my spirit. I'm honoring what God is laying on my heart. And if you're triggered by those things, it's not saying that you have to agree. But if you're triggered by some of these things, if a trigger is there, it's a wound there. And what I'm saying may be troubling to some because I'm not speaking of the majority where people are promoting you to be in relationships and connections and living in a false fantasy and false imaginations of a connection that may not be something that spirit has for you. Do we go through things? Gives us, spirit has power over and dominion over all things. God has the power and dominion over all things. So whoever is in your life, even if they don't serve you, they're there for a reason. It's really discerning what reason they're there in our life. So to say that you weren't meant to come across, let's say, twin flames, because that's the thing that a lot of people have. That's a stronghold for a lot of people. I'm gonna call it what it is. It is a spiritual stronghold, and it connects to those who are broken. It connects to those who lack in self-love, who may have not grown up in a household where they had real love, where their parents may have abandoned them, where they may have been abused. So they cling towards connections and things like that that don't really fulfill them. They're looking for a connection as something outside of them that's going to validate them, that gives them a title. So you have to be very mindful and discerning of certain things. The topic of twin flames and all of that, it's very dangerous. And I've said this before, and a lot of people may not agree. I've lost a lot of subscribers. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I had 22,500 something subscribers, and I'm down to like 400, 22,400 and something subscribers. So I lost about almost close to maybe 30, 40 subscribers, maybe, if I'm counting right. So what I'm saying is not going to appeal to the masses. I'm not here to appeal to the masses. I'm here to speak to those that are not here to follow the masses, that are not here to follow the world, to be of the world. So anything where you see a lot of people clinging to it and it's not producing anything of good fruit, because I have yet to see anybody that's claiming twin flames being in a happy connection or union. If you're in a divine connection, it's something that's divinely ordained, where you didn't have to go through a situation where you're waiting for somebody to leave their wife or their husband, or a situation where a man and woman's constantly in and out of your life. That's not how spirit works with divine unions. Those are not divine unions. Those are fake, false divine unions. They're deceptive. They are illusions to keep you stuck. There's people out there that have been believing these twin flame connections for years, and nothing has changed. And all they get is messages, oh, they're coming back, oh, they miss you, oh, they're afraid. But, enough with that. And I've been guided to tell people that God does not keep us in the spirit of the past. That's not of God. And when I say of God, I'm not speaking of a religious God. I'm speaking of a God that is all that is God, the creator of all things. I'm not speaking of a religious spirit, what they teach you in church. Don't do this, God. Don't do that, God. When you're under the will of God, your life changes for the better. You're not held to a prison, a spiritual, mental prison, and emotion. You're not held within that. And those connections that you've gone through, be grateful for them, because they did teach you something. At least they were there to assist you in some type of way. I don't believe that connections, whether it be friendships, whether it be romantic, were just by default. They happen for a reason. But you got to know when to keep moving. If you're stagnant, if you're still in the situation where you were 10 years ago, that's not good. That's not good. So if a situation has not changed in your life, that may be that it's time to move. It's time to move forward. There's nothing to look back at anymore. People are not ready to move forward. They want to stay where they are. And it's I can't even blame it on another person, another man or another woman or somebody's mom or somebody's daddy, because we have the choice whether we're ready to be free of something or not. We have the choice. And that's the good thing about God. God is not a God of harshness. God is a God of accountability, yes, but we have free will. We have free will. But our will versus the will that's divinely ordained for us is two different things. Why would we believe that our will is better than what the divine that created us has for us? Like, who believes that? It's like saying our parent that was, and some of our parents did the best that they could, and some of them were not the best parents. But when you think about it, when you think of an authority figure, you think that, okay, this is someone that has the best intentions, right? We all have the best intentions to raise our children, or as teachers, we hold accountability, and we have the best will and intentions for those that are under us, right? So if we have a God that is above this universe and created all things, don't you think that they have a divine plan for you that's bigger and greater than your own? And God worked with me with that, because I was so stubborn. I was so stubborn and so controlling with everything. I had to do this and I had to do that. And that was that orphan spirit within me that didn't trust anybody. They didn't believe I had anybody that had my back. So I have to do everything by myself. I have to think for myself. I have to create a business by myself. I have to find a man by myself. I have to do this and do that and defend myself, when I have a creator and I have a spiritual team that is with me, that backs me, that guides me. I have a Holy Spirit that guides me within me. Why do I have to look to my flesh to do everything? And I'm going to lose some people. It is what it is. It is what it is. People, usually they like comfort. The path of change, the path of focus ahead, focusing on your creator, that is a slim path comparison to do without will. Do whatever you want to do. Live it up. You only have one life to live. You might as well just fuck it up and do what you want to do. I don't want to change. I want to sit here and wait for Johnny to come back, or wait for Sarah to come back. I want to wait around for them. I want them to rescue me out of my sadness. I want them to be what fills me up. I want them to give me purpose. I want this man or this woman to be the only one that gives me purpose in life. I want this title. I want this car. I want to be the most famous person in the world, because that is what's going to fulfill me. And then most people, when they get it, they're not fulfilled. How many people will tell you that money don't make you happy? There are some famous people that will admit to you that they're miserable. There's beautiful people that say, oh, I might be beautiful and pretty, but I'm still unhappy on the inside. So beauty doesn't make nothing. A title doesn't make you different. Being married most definitely won't make people. A lot of people find that out. Like, oh, I still have these issues. I still have self-esteem issues. Oh, I still have daddy issues. Oh, I still have intimacy issues. Marrying this person did not change that. What's up, Sarah? Right. So, with the message that I was getting from Spirit to stand up, Spirit is telling you to stand on your feet. It's not over for you. It's not the end for you. This in which you're living and what you're seeing is not the end. There is a future. And I had to be careful quoting. What's up, sis? My sis from St. Louis, what's good? What's up, everybody on the chat? Bianca, Besso, Mimi, Rose, Vanessa. Hopefully, I don't know what it is. It's Vanexa Stories. I don't know how to pronounce it, but shout out to everybody on the live. I'm going to quote this scripture, because it's like, before I even really got into my scriptures and stuff, I had this notebook that I was drawn to get years ago. And it was where I put all of my business plans and all that stuff. It's Jeremiah 29:11, and it's, for I know the plans I have for you, the plans to prosper you and not to harm you, but to give you a hope and or to give you hope in a future. I'm paraphrasing. But I had to be careful with that quote, because the plans I have for you, meaning the plans that God has for you, not the plans that we have for ourselves. So we can have ideas and things that we want, but it has to be in the divine alignment with Spirit. But what happens is, and I'm learning this too, that when you're under the will of the divine, when you place yourself in that place, and that spirit of God is within you. They call it the Holy Spirit. When you're whole within self, within God, your plans are already going to submit to God's plan for you. So your desires are already God's desires for you. Does that make sense? Instead of being fragmented and being pulled, being dragged, as they say, you don't want to be dragged. You don't want to get your wigs pulled off, right? As they say. Um, Because that's like when we're kicking and screaming, like, no, I want this, but you said I could, or I thought this was my husband, oh, I thought this was my job, oh, I thought this was supposed to be, I thought this was that, and this and that. And God was like, no, I never told you that. I never said that. You said that. You wanted that. That was your own desires that said that. That wasn't what I had for you. That's what you want. And it hurts to let something go. It does. It hurts to let go of your plans. But when you learn, the more you see that when spirit is guiding you, you see that spirit has a plan and it works for you, because it's going to work every time. That's the thing. When spirit is leading us, spirit has our best will and intentions, and it will show proof every single time. The times that I've listened to spirit, I've listened to God, I've listened to my angels and what they were telling me to do, it saved me a lot of trouble. The times I did not listen, I got in trouble too. It got me in trouble. There were times where spirit was speaking to me, telling me, do not do that, do not go here. I did it, and I suffered the consequences of it, because that was what? My free will choice, right? So this isn't a religious thing or church thing. Your relationship with God is it's a personal relationship. Personal. And in order to know God, you have to spend time with God. You have to seek what God is. Nobody can't tell you what that is. You got to know him for yourself. And the reason why I say that, because I feel like a lot of people, we come from the church, and we grew up in church, and then we come into this quote unquote spirituality and new age stuff, and it teaches you to do away with stuff like that, right? And you're your own God, and you know everything, and you know what's best, and you're going to come into this great enlightenment. You got to be careful with stuff like that. You got to be careful with that. Why do we have a creator? Do we just, because even the people that talk about law of attraction, they call us co-creators with the universe. They give the universe a title, but in essence, God. So we are co-create. We are part of the creator. We are not the creator. We are not God. We're not God. We don't know everything. We don't have it all figured out, and that is okay. That is okay. A person that does not have a connection with God is a lawless person, and therefore they are loose. They're going to do the most craziest things, get into trouble, cause trouble in their own lives and others around them's lives. Who wants to be a lawless person? So, yeah, spirit is saying to stand up. And if you have to physically stand up wherever you are and stand and release and remove and see yourself walking and moving forward, even if you don't know where that forward is, imagine a door, a spiritual door in front of you, and knock and open that door and walk through that door. Even if it's dark, you can't see where you're going. Tacos and Patron. Tell, it's blocking me. Don't block me. I'm going to get this out. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. Spirit's trying to give me something to say to you, and somebody's trying to block me. Something's trying to block me from saying what it is. Don't give in to the people that are taunting you. You gotta divine authority. That's the thing too. When you're under the covering of God, you have divine authority over things. And I don't mean like ruthlessness. Like, that's another thing too. When we talk about witchcraft and all of that, like witches and stuff, when we have these abilities, we start casting things on people, start putting spells on people, and start wishing people bad. Even if you're not into witchcraft, that is a form of witchcraft. When you be like, oh, I hope that bitch don't get this. Oh, I hope she get fired. Oh, I hope he's never gonna be happy. Oh, drop dead. That's a form of spells. So careful what you say. And if people are speaking against you, Tacos and Patron, call spirit forth and tell them to flee from me. The enemy, flee from me. Let me see. And it's funny, witches use this Psalms prayer as well. Let me find it. I think I wrote it down. It's I usually pray this too. When I feel like I'm being spiritually attacked, I'll usually pray. It's a Psalms prayer. I'm trying to find it, because I feel like I wrote it down, and I probably did write it down. I did. And it's ripped. I'm going to find it for you. I'm going to find it. Because you have divine authority over that which is against you. And I don't mean like to harm people. It's not about harming people. It's putting them in their place, their rightful place. It's a Psalms 91. The whole Psalms 91 is a protection scripture. And I can't believe I couldn't think of it. It says, whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and he is my fortress, my God in whom I trust. You speak against that which tries to come against you. It's a simple thing. Call it affirmation. You can call it whatever you want. And if you don't resonate with scripture, just say, whoever or whatever you are that's trying to come against me, or that energy, that spirit, whatever you throw in my way, it has no power over me. I send it back to sender. And really mean it. Because people are going to try you. Thank you, Mimi. Yeah, it's Psalms 91. Because people are going to try you all day and every day. It is what it is. It's just what it is. But they have no power. And when you have that covering, a lot of times people will flee from you. They will flee from you. So, also too, it's another thing. We be getting mad when certain stuff don't happen for us, or when we don't get the guy that we want, or when we don't get the job we want, or maybe some of you guys, the girl that you want, whatever. That is protection. Like, you can't see everything. So you don't know that person's personal business. You don't know what they're really like. You don't know what type of stuff they struggle with. Like, spirit is protecting you. That's another thing. Like, you have no clue. Like, you be like, oh, why can't I? And then later on, you might hear something, and you be like, oh, okay, well, that wasn't for my highest good. Like, a lot of people be getting spared. But we throw temper tantrums because it's like our parents telling us, no, you can't have ice cream before bed, not knowing that it's of our highest good not to eat ice cream before bed. It's not healthy for us, right? It's not good for us. So if spirit is telling you, that's not good for you, I don't want you to do this, I don't want you to go here. Yes, that's another one. One of my favorite scriptures is Isaiah 54:17, which is, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, and every tongue that rises up against me, thou shalt condemn them. For this is the inheritance of the servants of the Lord, and righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. That is one of my favorite scriptures. So, yeah. Gotta get them in your spirit. Yeah, thank you, Sarah. Where we're in, this physical realm that we're in is so small in comparison to the spirit realm. The spirit realm is like, it's so much going on in the spirit realm and behind the scenes that we cannot see. So what you're seeing is only half of what's really going on. It's only half of what you see. So especially if people are speaking word curses, telling you, oh, you're never going to get married, or you're never going to get the job, or you're lazy, oh, you're not this, you're not that. You got to cast them down before they even take root. And I'm learning that too, because there's a lot of word curses that I realize I let them fester in my life for so long. It could be one of them that really triggers me, because I used to be really small back in the day, and I'm like thick now. So, and I like to eat. One of the things that triggered me was people calling me, "Oh, your thighs are too big. Don't you want to lose weight?" Or my brother, he triggered me one day. He was like, "You're getting big," and my dad calling me, thicky and all these names or whatever that trigger you. It's word curses, and then subconsciously, I'm like, I'm already thick, so why not just keep eating, right? But you're saying to yourself, oh, I don't like this about me. So it starts creating self-hate. It starts creating body shame, body dysphoria. So you got to be careful with the word curses you accept in your subconscious, what you let people speak against you, because in the spirit realm, those words are taking flight. They're creating it. It's spiritually creating something. So you have to be careful of that. Thick thighs save lives, yes they do. You have to be careful of that. And it's deeper. It's like they say, it's deeper than rap. It really is. Like, it's much deeper than what it appears to be. And that's why I don't tell people to, like, I know everybody's not where they're, where some people are. I'm not where other people are. I may not be as, where I should be within my spirit and within my connection, where I'm at, where I'm supposed to be. And that's why I can't push people that are still wearing floaties to jump in the deep end of the pool. Some people are not ready for that. Some people are not ready. Yes, music is a big thing. And this is so crazy. I was listening to a song. It's a SWV song, and it's like a line in the song where she was talking about how this man didn't love her, whatever, in the song. She was like, my worst fear is now reality. And for some reason, I could never say that line, that part of the song. Now it's a reality. I could never say that, because subconsciously I would have been speaking something over myself by saying that. So you have to be careful even with the songs you listen to. Like, some people, like when Eminem came out, I think it was, people would listen to Eminem and they would be mentally deranged, and they would do some really terrible things. Like, certain songs, I think was it Metallica? It might have not been Metallica. I think it was Korn or something. It's a rock band, and I think the Columbine, I think it was connected to Columbine. They were listening to some type of artist, and they said it was inspiring them. It was movies they were watching. You gotta be careful with what you be listening to and what you be watching, because your eye sees something, but your spiritual eye is also picking up. And sometimes we don't pick up. Yeah, Marilyn Manson. We don't pick up everything. You don't know what the essence and the energy is behind that song. You don't know where that person was when they wrote it, where they were at when they were singing it, when they were rapping it. You gotta be careful with that. Gotta be more discerning of what you feed yourself. And I noticed that, like, certain things I used to watch, I couldn't go to sleep at night, and I couldn't understand why I couldn't sleep. I used to be scared. I couldn't sleep with the lights off. And I'm not like the type of person that gets scared about like horror movies and stuff, but there was one specific movie that I watched that really, I couldn't sleep for like weeks without a light. Couldn't sleep by myself in the room. Couldn't sleep without a light, or with someone in the room with me, because of that movie. Like, that movie fucked me up for a minute. Like I said, I don't get freaked out by horror movies. I think they're like kind of goofy and kind of corny, but some of them, you gotta be mindful of watching that stuff. So where are we going with this? You have to be more discerning of what's going on with you. So whenever you have a negative thought, and this is something that Spirit's been working with me too, whenever you have a negative thought and you start talking negatively, oh, I'm just this. Oh, this is never going to happen for me. Oh, blah, blah, blah. What was me talk? And especially when you were just okay. Say you were just okay. You were thinking all right. You were probably laughing about something, and all of a sudden something comes over you, or you see something on TV, or you hear something, or you are watching or looking on social media, and all of a sudden you just have a negative thought. What just came over me? What was that? Because that's not me. That's what you got to ask yourself. Like, wait a minute, what was that? What was this? What just happened? Where did that thought come from? Um, I had got a question. I did a free reading on Instagram the other night. I think it was Wednesday night. And I had someone ask me, why does the past keep coming up like it's tormenting me? The word torment, that's not that's not divine. God does not torment you. That's something else. And like I said, God is a God of new beginnings. Have a plan for our future. So what is it that's trying to keep me stuck in the past, and why is it tormenting me? Is it a spirit of condemning? That's another thing that I've been dealing with too. The spirit of condemning, like myself, or being condemned. Oh, Chinoa, see, you ain't good enough. See, remember how you used to do this? Oh, you can't talk about that because remember this and because of that. And if you've already made peace with that, you've already confessed that, yeah, that was something that was a part of me. I made peace with that. I've released it. I forgave myself. I asked God to forgive me and to remove that from me. You shouldn't be bringing this up anymore. That's not me anymore. So whoever or whatever this energy is trying to bring that up. Good, nice try, but you gotta go. Nice try. Yes. Wow, Sarah, that's crazy. That is crazy, but it's real. Movies, things we listen to, some books, some things you just gotta let go of. And it could be a memory of somebody, it could be a piece of clothing of somebody's that you have that you might need to let go and free yourself of. You might have to let it go. I had I had an article of clothing that was connected to somebody that I was like obsessed with, and something told me to take it and just get rid of it. Take that shirt and like get rid of it. Let it go. Because certain things are connected like to a time in our life. Some things are connected to um, some things are connected to energies that we were once in a period of time, or a person that we used to be. And by having that, you're holding on to it. And that's why a lot of people, you'll see like in oracle cards and stuff, they'll have cards of decluttering, clean your house or clean your spaces. And it's good to do that. Even old, let's say, like old clothes that you no longer fit anymore, that could be blocking you from receiving more. It doesn't have to necessarily be clothes per se, but like if you're holding on to things that's no longer of use to you, you could be blocking new things coming into your life. So um, the battle is not yours alone. The things that you're growing through, you're not doing it by yourself. You're not doing it off of your own human strength. There's no way possible. If you were doing all of this by your own human strength, a lot of us would probably be dead right now, or somewhere laying in a hospital bed. Like if we try to do everything off of our mirror, and a lot of people do go exhausted. And God sometimes sits us down. That's happened to me before. Sometimes you grow sick and you gotta lay down, or something happens where you have to be in that place of stillness because you get tired trying to do everything off of your own human strength. You cannot do that. There's no possible way. And then there's times where people will be like, a strength just came over them out of nowhere. That strength that came out of nowhere is not coming from your human strength. There's no possible way. A woman maybe that fought off a 200-pound man, that was not by her mere physical strength, her human strength. That was something within her that instilled that power over in her. It's different between divine possession or being filled. Let's call it being filled. It's a difference. Being filled by the divine, by being filled by what we call the Holy Spirit versus being possessed by something darker. Because you can get powers and strengths and gifts and abilities from darkness as well. But man, I didn't mean to go into all this. I did not mean to. I didn't know where this is going. I'm just letting spirit use me right now. That's all I'm doing. Um, it's not gonna be orthodox. Oh, hello everyone. This is gonna be your reading, and we're gonna talk about whatever. And yeah, this is what you want to hear. Oh, have a nice day. Namaste. I'll see you next time. Subscribe, like, share. We're not doing that. So, um, hmm. The only thing keeping me here is my daughter. I got her reading once, and when you're sad, wishing, hmm, are you dealing with depression and suicide, tacos and Patron? Well, depression is clear. Are you dealing with suicide, suicidal thoughts, thinking about it? It might be delayed where I'm at, but I'm waiting for you to respond. Well, I'll say this. That was something, um, that's something that I know um, was running around in my family. I lost a family member to suicide like a year ago. Um, I know two of my, no, three of, mm, I don't want to put their business out there, but three of my close family members, um, three of my family members had those types of thoughts. One attempted to do it. I've had the thoughts a couple of times, to where it was like considering doing it, and like something telling me, like talking me into doing it, like, oh, well, just do this or just do that. It was that type of stuff. Um, I don't take that lightly. We might all have an idea and say, um, we might all have a thought in our mind and go, I wonder what it'd be like if I just wasn't here anymore. Or, I don't know. Like, what if it's just best for me not to be here? Yeah, we all have that. But if we have that if we're entertaining it too much, thinking about it too much, it comes too much. And you're saying the only thing that's keeping you here is your daughter. It's like that's an energy, that's a spirit of death basically. That's not, and I didn't read what you said all the way through. I'm not going to even like repeat what it said. Um, I don't know, let's cut it here. Okay, I might weird somebody out right now, but I need to do this, and I'm sorry. Y'all probably gonna think I'm crazy. It is what it is. But I'm speaking against that. Anybody that's dealing with the spirit of fear, divine, Most High God, I thank you. I call to you and I ask that anyone that is watching, anyone that will watch this video that's dealing with the energy of suicide, the spirit of suicidal thoughts, the spirit on them of despair, feeling that their life is not worth living, not able to see their future or to believe that there is a future for them, feeling that there's nothing left here for them. God, I ask that you remove this energy from them. I call to the angels and the ancestors, and I cut and loose those energies off of them right now in the name of the Most High God. I bind it, whatever this is, wherever it stems from, that energy, that spirit, that shadow, that cloud that is over their mind, whatever it is that has been fed into them, told to them, wherever that spirit of despair is rooted from within them, I cast it out, I close it out. For those that come to you, God, and ask for their clarity, ask for their peace, God, give them peace, give them deliverance from this. I thank you. I thank you. I'm touching the back of my head. In the back of my head, I feel like it's something, it's a thought. It's either a thought that was instilled from someone else, something is, it didn't come from you. It's not you. Whoever is dealing with that energy of suicide, it is not you. Give them peace, God. Show them that there is a future, whatever it is in the past that have them to believe that there is no future for them, wherever the part of the remnants of them that is stuck in the past, whoever is holding on to the piece of who they were in the past and still keeping that memory alive of who they were, I ask that you give them the peace and that you cut those cords from those persons, those word curses, those thoughts, those memories. If there is a fragment or a piece that is somewhere connected to the past, I ask that you sever the cords and the ties with that in the name of Jesus and the blood of Jesus, and I thank you. I call to the Archangel Michael to stand in protection and govern the mind. Govern the mind and cut cords with those thoughts. They are not theirs. They do not belong to you. They do not belong to you. Those are not your thoughts. Those are not God's thoughts for you. Those are not God's plans for you. Forgive yourself for who and what you were in the past, what you did in the past. I ask that they come to you and ask to free them and to forgive them, that they forgive themselves, that they state what it was that they are holding on to. You are not your past. Forgive yourself for your past. Call out who you used to be and release yourself from that. That is not you. That's not your story anymore. That is not your story. You are not your mistakes. That is not you. Let it go. The past is dead. It is gone. It no longer lives. I thank you, God. I pray that this reaches those who it's meant to reach, that it frees and delivers those who it's meant to free and delivered, and that this is not me, this is all of you, God. And I thank you. I thank you for your presence. I thank you for your gifts. I thank you for your discernment. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, if I would have broke out in tongues, y'all would have been like, okay, I'm done with this girl. But yeah, anyone's family, anyone's family members, friends, close ones, loved ones, whether they realize it or not, that are going through the depression and going through thoughts of suicide, and that spirit of suicide is on them, that I also ask that you break the cords and ties off of them, off of these loved ones. I ask that you give them and instill in them peace and hope, that you give them the clarity of what their future is, or to give them that passion to live out their future, God, whether they know it or not, what it is that you have for them, that you give and instill in them a peace and a clarity and an understanding, that you cut cords with the past self that they are connecting to, the past of self of them that they are stuck, that is keeping them stuck, that is keeping them hostage. I thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. Anytime you have like a thought like that, say it's not me. That is not me. That's not me. That's not coming from me. And I command you to go. I command you to go. And you know what, Tacos and Patron? Your daughter needs you, and the reason why she's waiting on you is because your daughter has a special calling, but she needs you too because it's something that you have that she also has within her. It's a gift. And there's a reason why Spirit attacks you the way that they attack you. Anyone else that's watching, if you're constantly being attacked in the areas, oh, my life is not worth living, you better think again. You don't think that in the spirit realm, these dark beings don't know who you are and what your calling is and what your purpose is? Just as the devil can quote the Bible, or just as people in the church that are dirty and they just want money, they know the scriptures like the front and back of their hand, but they still scheming, still stealing money and collection plates. You don't think that the devil knows, or whoever you want to call it, the dark beings don't know who you are? You don't think they know who you are? They do. Think again. And they're going to attack you. They're going to come for you 10 times harder because they want to make sure that you don't free yourself. They want to make sure that you don't live out your calling so that you don't free other people. They want to make sure that your family is stuck, and they want to make sure that your family's stuck in generational traumas. They don't want you to free your family. You have the ability to do that. They don't want you to have that. If you, let's say you were to take your own life and your daughter dealt with that, her direction of her life could go a completely different way. She could be stuck in that place of despair. She can be in a place where she decides to be a prostitute because she lost her mother and felt, oh, well, my life ain't worth living either. Those spirits are very strategic. They know our weaknesses. They know our pain. They know our past. They know all of that. So, of course, you're going to be attacked. Anybody that's dealing with the spirit of suicide, I ask you to go to Spirit and ask, reveal to me what my purpose is. I ask you to reveal to me, who am I in you? What do you have? What are the plans you have for my life? Because there's a reason why I'm here, and there's a reason why I'm being attacked. Don't give in for a second and believe that your life is not worth living. If you're here, that's not true. When you leave at your time, when you're called to go, that means you did all that you were supposed to do in this life. Something that's telling you you gotta go, you ain't supposed to be here, that's not spirit. That is why you're being attacked. That is also why your daughter is the only thing you're living for, is because she needs you. Yes. And I also feel for you as well, Rose, with that. Our parents, like, we might have parents, but we don't have them. And, a lot of times they only do the best that they can. But that orphan spirit also runs rapid in a lot of people, where you tend to feel like you're by yourself. You feel like you're not, you don't have anybody. But the beautiful thing is that that's not true either. You have a legion of spiritual beings that surround you and that protect you on the other side. And you have a creator and a God that has a plan for you in your life. We all have a plan. Again, it comes with that free will. Free will and calling. Some of us, don't have the free will enough to say, oh, I'm not going to live out my calling, because um, it's like you can't do that. We don't. Some people don't even have. I don't even want to call it a luxury, because it's not a luxury to say, "Oh, fuck my calling. I don't care. I'm not gonna do it." It's not a luxury, but some of us don't even have the option to do that. Like it's too strong of a conviction. We can't do it. But I'm grateful. I'm thankful for this message. I don't know where this is going. I don't know where my channel is going. I'm just, when I say my channel, my YouTube channel, I don't know where it's going at this point. I'm just following God. Um, the tarot cards and stuff, I felt convicted with that as well. Like, oh, should I be reading tarot cards and anymore? Is this really of God? And I know that God is not, and that's coming from religion, because the thing about God is that if I'm in the will of God, that God can work through anything and through anyone and in any environment. That's what I'm learning. Oh, and that's another thing too. See, Taco, like you already know, like you know the you might not feel like you know the blind spots and stuff in your life, but you know, like you just said a mouthful. I don't have anyone speaking positively in my life. You don't have anybody speaking into your life and speaking life into you. So that's why it's easy to be attacked too, because you don't have that feeding of you're blessed, you're this, you're that, you have greatness in you. So it's easy for the other side to come in and be like, you don't have a purpose, there's nothing for you to do, you know, your life is not worth living, you don't have this, see, you don't have that. It's easy for that to come in. And I pray that you come across and you meet people that will speak into you. And I hope that you take what all of us are giving to you in the chat right now, and you take that love in, and you take that encouragement and you carry it with you, and that will be something that sticks with you and that will remind you to keep moving forward. But I pray that you do come across people that will speak into you, because that's very important, and I know how very important that is. And Sarah, that is very true as well. We also have to do that. And one of the ways that we do that is, even if it's hard, you know, speaking into yourself, you'll say, "There's if I'm still here on this planet, that means I still have something in me. There's a reason why God still has me here. There's a reason why the universe has me here. There's still a purpose to my life. There's still a purpose. I'm still living. I have such and such to be grateful for." Um, the word of God has been really helpful in feeding into me. My sisters, my spiritual sisters, have been very helpful. I'm grateful for that. Watch something. Let spirit guide you to watch something that will help feed your spirit. If you're not, and I really do recommend reading the word of God. And when I say read the word of God, you got to read it in your spirit, not in a religious standpoint, not in your flesh. You got to read it in spirit. um these little things, see, that's why I say God knows how to speak to us, because spirit knows I resonate with cards. They have these little prayer boxes. There's different types that they have. I get these on Amazon. They're only $5. This one is prayers to strengthen your faith. This might be something for you. I'm gonna pull a card for you from this deck. But when you speak the word of God and you see how God moves in people's lives in the Bible, and a lot of people are like, oh, they're just characters, they're just this, they're just that. I'm a walking testament to, when you put your faith and trust in God, period, when you go through trials and tribulations, that God will pull you through that. Those words and those scriptures in the Bible, they have life in them. They have life in them. Psalms 23:4, it says, even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. So even though I go through the darkest times in life, I won't fear the darkness. I won't have fears. I'm not going to have any worries, because you're always with me. And your rod and your staff, which your guidance, comforts me. That is your message. Whoever that was for, you could take that too. We're not doing it off of our mere strength alone. That's, again, that's the beauty of it. You have angels. You have spiritual beings that are with you, that walk with you, that watch over you. Always, always, always watching, always protecting you. And those little dark beings and stuff like that, those dark thoughts, they have to submit. They're weaker. They're weaker vessels in comparison to divine. Like, they're weaker vessels. So those thoughts that we have, those shadow thoughts, those whispering spirits and stuff that we hear, the people that say little negative things against us, they're the weaker vessels. They are the weaker vessels, the lesser. They don't have no power. And the sooner we get that in our spirit, they will flee. They might not even really, and this is what they say, that a lot of them will become afraid when you carry that energy of God in you. They'll be afraid. They won't even mess with you. They know that they can't mess with you. What can they do with you? What can they do? I mean, this is like a whole nother topic, and I'm just getting into my faith with God more, and getting out of my own way and leaning on my own self and my own strength and my own understanding, and looking outside of myself for the answers. I haven't even really found the need to even pull cards. I haven't even really found the need to pull cards on myself. Like, what's going on with me? Like, I have not had the need to do that. I've been finding a lot of clarity with spending time in the presence of God. Literally. Literally. The cards, they're like a navigating system. They're cool and all of that, but it's just, I don't feel like I need the cards all the time. And I would rather interact with you guys in whatever way Spirit wants to use me, whether it be through the cards, whether it be not through the cards. My channel, like I said, I don't know what God is doing with my channel. I don't. I'm just following what Spirit's guiding me to do. I'm not here to be a fortune teller for people, to tell them what they want to hear, what their futures are, per se. More so to speak life, to help deliver people. I'm not the deliverer, but I can help assist with that, help guide with that, to help heal people, to give them clarity, to help give them peace, because I'm just a vessel. But yeah, I don't know what Spirit's doing with my channel. I don't. And I can humbly admit that I don't know. Ask God to send you people that will speak to you. Ask God to align you with even if it's just one person, one man, one woman that's going to be a friend to you, or that is where you're at, or not where you're at, where you're at, or able to identify and to help you and to speak life. Someone that's divinely sent to you. Ask Spirit to give that to you. And I pray that for everybody, because not all of us have people in our life that are that way, because they themselves don't know what that's like to have people speak life into them. They don't have that. I didn't really have that until I met my sisters that Spirit brought into my life. They just came to my life. I didn't always have that. I always dealt with insecurities. I always dealt with self-doubt. I've always dealt with depression. I've always dealt with feeling like the black sheep. I never had that. So it's not to say that it won't happen. I believe that you will. And I feel like you're going to meet the right person. You're going to meet someone. I feel like you're going to meet somebody. I feel feel like it's a woman, and this woman's gonna come into your life soon when you need it. I feel like it's gonna start with some type of word, and it's gonna lead you to the right person. And yes, Sarah, God fills voids. See, when we're always looking outside of ourselves, we get caught up in a trap. We never find what we're looking for when we continue to look outside of self. That's why we always have to seek God for our supplication, what we need, what we're in need of. Whether you call it universe, you call it God, spirit. I need that fulfillment that nobody else can give me. I need that in you. Yes. Just speak positivity in the Bible and be good and to love it. Right. I got that. I know that's not going to be the popular, and it's not going to be the majority. Like I said, I don't know what God is doing with my channel. I don't know what He's doing with me, per se, with my walk right now, my path. I'm still going to continue to help people. I'm still going to read. Um, I'm just going to flow like however God is leading me. I know that. I know that much. Um, it's not to say that I'm not going to help people with loving relationships and stuff like that, because I feel like that is something that Spirit wants me to continue to do. Um, it's just in the way that it's going to happen. I can't guarantee how that's going to happen. Like how Spirit's going to do that. But I love cards. I love them. I love cards because I love illustrations. I'm a visual person. I like the different types of cards and stuff like that. Um, it's just, but however Spirit wants to use me. Yes, and I really do, really, 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 truly, earnestly, humbly pray that those of you that are dealing with purpose and dealing with your life, where you're at, and um, fears of your future, feeling like you're hopeless and in despair, I pray that you come to that place where you say, God, I need you. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going in life. I need guidance. I need strength. I need clarity. I want peace in my life. I want to be freed. If that is of your will, if that's what God has for you. But I pray that those of you guys find peace, especially in these times. Um, we can't afford to lose divine vessels out here to negative thoughts and depression and suicide, because I see it so much. It's like it's such a common thing, where they used to say it was like in one demographic and maybe one age group or more in a certain age group, but now it's like everybody's dealing with depression and everybody's dealing with um, their mental health and fear, and it's not of God. God instills peace in us. We're gonna have days. We're gonna have our days. I have my days too. But I want you guys to find that relationship with God, your own relationship, where religion can't teach you that, nobody else can teach you that, where you find your own relationship with God, like where you have that sturdy stance with God, just you and God and Spirit and your angels, where you hear God clearly. I pray this for all of you, that you hear God clearly, and you know when Spirit is directing you and guiding you. You know the difference between what is of your highest good and what is not of your highest good. Um, Anything that's preventing you from expressing yourself, from being your authentic self, your authentic truths, that gets done away with. Because God made you different. God set you apart for a reason. Yes. Yeah, I agree. And that very well could be something that Spirit is going to work with you, because that's another thing, too. It's another revelation. Um, the things that we grow through, like our challenges and stuff like that, it's usually for a testimony to share the good news with other people, because other people may be going through the same thing, or you've gone through that, and so you can share the good news of how you've been freed from that, how you got out of that, so that you can instill, because people need to see the truth and the results. It's okay to be like, yeah, my friend, they went through this and this happened for them, but it's more powerful when a person has gone through that thing and you see that they've got out of it. So that's proof that God has the power to do that. God has the power to do that in them, then they can do that in me. That's possible. Because I'm humbly going to tell you that it's not just me doing this. The things that I've been healing from and growing through have not been off of Chinoa's flesh strength and my mind and my own intelligence. A psychiatrist, a therapist, and all. I can't give credit to nobody outside of God, because God, the people even that speaks to me, God sends them. God speaks through them. They have their own relationships with God. So the things that we're growing through, if we can stand in them, continue to move in them, and not waver in them, we will get, it's guaranteed that we will overcome them. It's guaranteed. It is guaranteed. I wish I had a verse to back it up. There is one, but I can't think of it off top. If any of you guys know what it is, um, that your trials and tribulations are not the end for you. They're actually, like I said, a testimony to show others it can be done. So whatever you're going through is just, it's a forced season. Spirit needs you. Spirit needs you. I'll never forget, it was a girl. I had posted something and I thought it was stupid. At first, I'm like, I don't know if I should post this. Nobody's going to care about this. And a girl commented and she was like, I just spoke about this morning on my, I think it was her Facebook or Instagram. She's like, I just spoke about this on my social media. And at first, I was like, nobody's going to want to hear this. So I almost didn't post it, but I'm glad that I did. And it's things like that where we almost talk ourselves out of stuff because we feel like nobody's gonna want to hear. But the thing that we gotta learn is, regardless if it gets 1,000 likes or 1,000,000 likes, if it reaches that 20, that 30, that 15, that 3 of those people that it's meant to reach, you did what you're supposed to do. Our power of influence is not based off of numbers. Our power of influence is what Spirit invests and gives to us. Is however Spirit wants to use us, our influence, our gifts, our abilities, our testimonies, however Spirit wants to use it. Exactly. There's a lot of people that have beautiful testimonies and love relationships, and that's why I hurt, and that's why I get so frustrated. I'm like, okay, I need to calm down, but I be so frustrated with people. I be like, why are y'all crying over these dudes that they're not even giving you half of what you deserve? Like, if you only knew. I see so many women's testimonies, and I'll be like, see, if God can do that for her and her and her, God can do that for me. And one of my closest sisters now that I used to read for as a client met her husband after she let go of someone, and I was like giving her a message, and it's a message that most women hear and they may not want to hear, but oh, that person that you crying over is not him, because you wouldn't be growing through something like this if that was your person. So sometimes we got to remind ourselves that Spirit has something much better for me. So when I speak about soul ties and when I speak about false relationships and connections, it's not to diminish anyone's hope and faith and belief that they can find love. It's to enlighten them whether or not they're in the right place within themselves to find love, or if they're even in the right relationship, so that hopefully they can align themselves with what's for them, or to be open to receive that and to start the healing process to receive that. Because a lot of times what we attract is based off of where we are within ourselves. So if we're attracting toxic relationships and we're attracting unavailable men or unavailable women, cheaters and things like that, it's something within ourselves that we have to heal, whether it's self-rejection, whether it's abandonment, whether it's lack of, feeling like you're not pretty enough or you're not handsome enough, you're not this enough. And I always say too, like, we look at what the world says is love, like relationship goals, like Cardi B and Offset. Like, we look at stuff like that as relationship goals, versus, let's say, for instance, let's say Megan Good and her husband Devon Franklin, versus godly connections where it shows proof that God put two people together, versus people that comes together and it's all about money, it's all about sex and you know um, toxicity, cheating, and scandals. We think that that's normal because we see it being publicized and we see, oh, they get money, oh, this, and that. Like, we're used to dysfunction. Versus, I want to be a wife to a man that cheats on me and sluts me out. I'm twerking on him and all this stuff publicly. I'm bashing him, calling him names, all kind of behavior, versus all for the sake of being like, oh, well, we got money though. Oh, we got cars. We got matching Rolexes. We got this. Oh, we got this amount of subscribers and followers. Because there's couples on YouTube that I'll be like, I don't know why y'all be thinking some of this shit is couple goals. I don't get it. And then you have relationships where a man is honoring his wife, where this is my backbone. This woman has inspired me, or my husband has inspired me. He supports me. He loves me. He honors me. My wife, she's been a help to me. She's prayed for me. We don't hear stuff like, people don't like things like, a lot of people don't identify with stuff. They identify with the fuckery. And that's so sad. That just shows where we're at. And a lot of it is generational traumas and curses that we have. I'll speak for, the Black community. A lot of us, our family and stuff, the things that, especially if our family, our ancestors come from slavery and the trauma that we suffered, our ancestors suffered, in that plays a lot of the roles of our dynamics in our families, with our children, with our husbands and our wives, with each other. A lot of that same programming and Jim Crow spell work that was put on our ancestors play out in our relationships today. So it goes deeper than that, but I just really pray for my women that you guys find the man that is meant for you. If men are not your taste, find the person, if it be for your highest good, if it be in the will for you to be with whomever, that who that person is, that they will be someone that loves you, that respects you, that honors you, that chooses you and only you, and saying that you both have that connection, that divine connection. Divine connection and union. It's just a slippery slope. I don't think, the Aries and the money bag yos, I don't think that stuff is cute. I just don't. I don't, Cardi B's and the Offsets and stuff, I don't think that stuff is cute. I don't think that that's real relationships. I don't feel like that's what should be promoted. I don't think it's cute at all. It's not couple goals. I don't want to be nothing like that. I hope my children don't want that. Like, I only have one daughter, but I'm speaking probably for the future. I don't want my kids, my grandchildren, I don't want them to think that that's what real love is. And that's why Spirit has put me through this period of singleness. I've been single for so long, and I really been pressing. I'm like, I see everybody else in relationships and stuff like that, and I'm like, well, why? But I know that my walk is my walk. Whatever Spirit is doing with me is what Spirit's doing with me, and whatever I'm healing is what I need to be healing. And the right person, when they come, it's going to be a blessing. And I would want my relationship and my union to bless others, bless my family, bless my lineage, to bless people, maybe that my story will be a testimony to them. That's all that I wish for everybody and pray for everybody else. Because, and that's another thing, y'all might not want to hear this or believe this, but y'all being attacked in the areas of love to keep you stuck on somebody, on a dude or a female that is not for your highest good. They're draining you, they're manipulating you, they're feeding off of you, they're using you, they're confusing you, they're misleading you. Or this person is just an ideal and they're not even actively doing anything in your life, but that stronghold, that tie that you have on someone or connected to a person will keep you stuck. And that is so that you won't come into a union with someone where you have an influential connection that's going to break generational traumas off of your family, that is going to set other women free to see what they too deserve, or other men to see what they deserve, what a real union is. There's attacks there too, just like your calling is being attacked. Love relationships are being attacked. That's why they're promoting these toxic, they're we call it karmic connections, but they are in nature. They are these connections where you're in a relationship with this man and he's in a relationship with her and her and her and you, and he's coming back to you with her traumas and her stuff and her, and he going back to her, dumping off her traumas into her, and vice versa, having babies out of that trauma, and all of it's a cycle that is disgusting and it needs to stop. That's all I'm saying. And it's sad that some people don't even believe that real love exists. I had my daughter's father told me, and he was laughing at me. I remember this conversation. We were sitting in the car, and he was bragging to me about going to the strip club and oh how he was turned up and blah blah blah. And I was like, I'll be so glad when I find my one. And I guess he got triggered by that, and he was like, good luck finding a soulmate. I don't know what you thinking about men and blah blah blah. Basically saying all men are dogs. There's no such thing of a good person for you, basically. And it triggered me a little bit, but it was something in me that knew that that was a lie. And some of us really believe that there's no such thing of a good man or a good woman, and if it's a good man or good woman, it's us settling for somebody boring, or we're never going to have any passion or fun. And Spirit is not promoting us or encouraging us rather to settle, because you can have somebody that's good on paper that's still not for you. That's still not your person. That's why you got to make sure that you are under the will of the divine to know what and who is for you, because you can meet a man or woman that has all the qualities, but there's something missing. You got to be able to discern that. Spirit's not telling you to settle just because, oh well, he's the only good guy that's come across, oh this must be it. No. Yes, we gotta be. So I done caught STDs from men. I've been abused physically. I've been the cheater. I've been cheated on. I done been through almost every toxic thing that you can think of in a relationship, and it's not worth it. It's not worth it, and that's why I've stopped having sex with people. Thank God Spirit cured me of those things, but I'm no longer having sex, not dating, I'm not talking to nobody, I'm just chilling. Like, I'm literally in my bubble. Like, I'm literally in that. And there's times where Spirit might let me entertain, but lately, as of late, for the past year or two, I have had no type of male distractions hit me up, texting me, going out on dates and stuff. It's a distraction for me right now. It's not what Spirit wants me to be. So, I mean, everybody's walk is different, but I'm just grateful that I don't have to do with anything. Like, I don't have nothing to do with that stuff anymore. I'm grateful for that. And yes, some of my exes, they're in relationships, and one of them lives in a house with a girl, but it's still toxic. Like, it looks like you would think, oh, he's doing better than me because of where he's at. But his situation is still toxic. He's still doing the same stuff, but just with a different woman. And I'm just like, by the grace, I'm grateful for that. I have my peace. I don't gotta worry about him. I don't gotta worry about this person, that person. I'm good. I can sleep at night. So when the right one comes, when that time comes, where however it is aligned, it will be the right thing. Crazy. Sometimes you're put in environments that you don't fit into so that you are the example, you are the exception, you are the shift. You are the shift. It's like putting a person in a room full of vampires and demons and whatever. Just imagine like a little scary little Halloween movie or something. And just say there's like a virgin that walks into the room and they're glowing and all these vampires and shit is watching them and they just like lurking in the corners, just like thirsty. But that power, that light has the ability to shed light on the things that are not of the highest good. So if it's family, if it's friends, you are the example. And sometimes it's to put that pressure on you too. It puts that pressure, and it reveals a lot. So never look at your circumstances as a curse. Know the difference between when you're in a situation that you brought yourself into, or if it's just simply a season that you have to grow through. It's not a curse. You might have to be the example. The black sheep is always like spirit, and this is the thing too. And like spirit likes to use those that are the lesser thans, or the ones that are the outcasts, the ones that are casted out, the ones that are the peewees, the tiny one, the ones that can't talk good, the ones that may not have a good vocabulary, the ones that might not be what society calls the prettiest or the handsome. Spirit likes to use those people or the thugs that just got out of jail, or the prostitutes. God likes to use those people and like do something in their life where people be like, what the fuck, how, excuse my language, how did that happen? How did who are you, and why did you? And like, because we think we gotta be so-called qualified, we gotta look the part, we gotta talk a certain way, we gotta have a certain status. No, spirit uses people that spirit likes to use the black sheep, let's put it that way, to bring that glory and show what I can do through this person, their testimony, their crazy testimony. I used to be a drug addict, I used to do this, I used to be that, and now I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and I'm writing books for people about this, and I'm healing. Like, God has stories like that for people. Things like that. And I'm not saying that I was on drugs, I'm just using that as an example. But God has used people in crazy situations. That's what spirit wants to do in everybody's life. Period. You've been casted out. You've been you're not as smart. You didn't do this. You came from that. You look like this. You don't have. Spirit wants to use you. Whoever is watching this, whenever you watch it, your story is going to be massive. It's going to massively shift not only alone your family, not only your colleagues, but whoever is watching you is going to be influenced by your story in a positive way. God is going to do something in your life that you didn't see coming. And I have chills. So God is doing new things in your life. God is doing new things in your life. No ear has heard, no eyes have seen, as they say. You're not going to be able to fathom what God is doing for you. You're not going to be able to fathom it. People are going to be looking like, how did that happen? How did she, how did he? Like, how did that happen? Your story, your testimonies are going to be something wild and something crazy. I was watching a man today, and he was talking about how he was in jail and how he was, basically a thug. He's an older man now, but he was talking about how he was delivered of all of that and how he's healing people. He said he went to the hospital and it was a man that was paralyzed on one side of his body. One side of his body, and he said God told him to tell the man, lift your right arm up. I think it was lift your right arm, and everybody was like crying and going crazy because this man was paralyzed and he just lifted his arm. God is going to do something crazy. However God uses you, it's going to be crazy in a good way. In a good way. And Tacos and Patron, God is going to use you for your daughter. You, it's got to be you. It's got to start with you. That's what you're not getting. It starts with you. It starts with you. You are the shift. Like I said, you are the shift. It starts with you. It starts with you. Nobody else is going to activate you. It starts with you. I mean, not to say that people are not going to inspire you, but when you get into your position, God is going to be the only one that takes credit for it. Nobody else is going to be able to take credit for what's happening in your life. Nobody. I guarantee it. Nobody else is going to be able to take credit. Nobody else. All right, I have chills all over my body. I thank you, God. I thank you for this message. This was amazing. I don't know. We even need the cards. I'm grateful for this message. If I could do this every night, it's a blessing. I don't. I'm grateful. I thank God. Thankful. Grateful, grateful. Yes. They are nothing. Exactly. I'll pull one card for y'all and then we'll go. I'm grateful. I have chills all over my body. I receive it. Receive it. Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands. Let me turn my little light thing on because I can't see in here. I've been talking so long, the sun's going down. Let's see. Here we go. So we have the Ace of Wands, and it says, an amazing opportunity. Be bold, courageous, and optimistic. Now is the time to take action. Do what you are passionate about. So it's a new energy coming in, and you're going to have a new passion. You're going to have a new vitality, and I speak that over everybody's life, that you are going to have a new vitality, a new energy, a new passion, new insights, better clarity. It's new energy coming in. Yes, God, I thank you. See the synchronicity. So pay attention to what Spirit's showing you, the alignments, the guidance, those nudges that you get. Like, all of that is synchronicity. It's things lining up. Could be something somebody says. It could be something you hear, you know. Pay attention. So the bottom card is, it says, or the bottom message, it says, today's lesson. Take note of all the synchronistic happenings and coincidences that occur on this day, and know that nothing happens by accident. Your goal, to appreciate the divine details that are woven, into every moment of your life. Okay, so appreciate every little thing that Spirit is doing, even down to the fine, small details, even the small happenings, the little things, because they all are going to play a big role. And I wish I can explain it, but I had a weird encounter, like, just weird. It's crazy. But I was looking at the bottom card. It says identity change, and you guys are going through a change. See how she's open? Remember how I was saying, open the door? Imagine yourself opening a door. Her door is opening, and it's flowers coming out of it. Yes, God. Is it back? You see how that happens? We're going to get this message out. You guys are not going to be the same. These flowers represent growth. They represent blossoming energies. They represent new beginnings. This is a new period. And she has the key in her hand to unlock this door. You have the key. Once you knock, as it says, knock and the door shall be open. Ask and you shall receive. But what I'm getting from this is that this is a new beginning. This is a new door, a new season. So you can't stop where you are. Like, you're right on the cusp of it, and you're not going to be the same. This next phase you're going into, you're not going to be the same person that you came out the last season being. You're not going to be the same person. Or identify, one small change that you've been postponing that would improve your life. This could be anything from cleaning a drawer. Remember we was talking about cleaning stuff out, decluttering, to getting a new hairstyle. Change, symbolic actions happening, calling, like people calling me and stuff now. So I don't know how much you guys heard. I'm going to read that again. Identify one small change that you've been postponing that would improve your life. This could be anything from cleaning a drawer to getting a new hairstyle. Change symbolically can be frightening. Your goal is to recognize that you postpone even small, insignificant changes because intuitively you know that they can ignite powerful ones. So it's something on the cusp of change, and it's scary. It's not easy. So it's kind of like being postponed. It's like being stuck in the past, but it's something that's propelling, like it's pushing you, encouraging you rather, to open that door, to be open to that change. And it could be a small gesture, as small as cleaning out the drawer, as the card says, or cutting your hair, making some type of change. It's a change in the spirit realm. When we do things in the earthly realm, we may not understand what it's doing in the spirit realm. So just keep mind of that. I hope that this message resonated. This whole entire live blessed you, that it blesses your family, that it blesses your friends, your colleagues, whoever, you know. You can share this message if you feel like it. But yes, much love as always. I appreciate you guys. I'm grateful. Like I said, I don't know what God's doing with my channel. I'm open to it. And I send you guys love, and I'll catch you guys in the next reading, next video. Peace.